Welcome back, folks. Well, as you know, Hurricane Harvey came in and caused extensive damage to thousands of homes and left people without nothing. And today we have the American Red Cross here. We have Nario Rene Cantu to tell us a little bit about what they're doing and how you all can get involved to kind of help those in need. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Well, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to represent the American Red Cross. I'm a board member, a newly appointed board member.
Well, congratulations.
And it's been quite an experience to see the amount of effort and work and coordination that the American Red Cross puts forth. Not just in our area when you have a fire and assisting first responders when there's an extended event, providing food, water, rest, shelters for those first responders. But now when you have something of this magnitude that they say has affected 6 million people have suffered at least 30 inches of rain in the Houston area. Wow. They say the water that's covering the area of Houston is as big as Lake Michigan.
Wow.
So you can imagine those impacted, and most all of us know somebody from the Houston area, and we all know some of them have been lucky, as we were in missing this huge disaster.
Most definitely.
But some have been put out of their homes. Some are still without power, water, and they're saying the water supplies could be affected for weeks until the water levels subside, because they can't repair them until all that's done.
And you all are always there. I know, especially like you mentioned, fires, especially here locally. You guys are the first responders would show up as you all would to kind of help those in need. And so the fact that you are, of course, it's just second nature to kind of step up to something like this. But it is such a larger scale situation. And so what have you all been finding or tasked with? Trying to find supplies and volunteers and such? Well,
luckily it's one of those things when you have a situation like this, people come out of the woodwork and they're offering to help. It's important to remember that it should be an organized effort, and the more organized, the better impact it can have on those that are affected by this tragedy. So if you're planning on going, if you want to help, the easiest way is to go to a supported American Red Cross or some reputable organization that's affiliated with service and help, and partner with them so they can direct you as to what the items are needed so they can get the most out of their donation. Also, the easiest thing is to make a donation, a financial donation. $10, 33 cents a day for a month is not too much that any of us can't really afford, and the impact would spread over thousands of people, those donations. And you can go to, obviously, text Harvey, as you've been seeing on TV, to 90999.
Right, and it's on your screen right there, folks. You can easily do that, or even give a call. I think 800 Red Cross. 1-800
Red Cross. You can find out what's needed. Call your local Red Cross area if you want to volunteer, so that you can be connected with the right area, organization, or place to show up. Generally, we certify our volunteers, and they're vetted. There's background checks that are involved. But in a situation like this, many times people are just going on their own and doing what they can to help. But as a former volunteer firefighter, sometimes you have these people that come in to try to assist, and they can sometimes impede or cause a little bit of extra work for those that are actually the professionals trying to do the work. So always try to connect with some team, some organization, some group that knows what they're doing. So if you have to go or feel so compelled and really want to give your time and effort, you can do it in an organized fashion so that there's no duplication of services or resources, or you don't find yourself in harm's way. As you've seen, many of the first responders and rescuers perished because of danger and the unforeseen.
And how do you all prepare for something like this? I mean, I don't think many can, because it was much greater than we imagined it to be, but how do you kind of prepare to assist in a disaster like this?
Well, organizations like the American Red Cross and other organizations, nonprofits that are trying to help citizens are continually preparing year-round. There's training continually. There's reaching out for volunteers to prepare for a situation like this, so that those that are experienced in our certification programs, they're experienced in running a shelter, in helping the shelter, in feeding people, in warehousing supplies, in doing different things, medical. If you have a medical background and you're retired and you want to be of some assistance, there's always a need for nurses and caregivers. So those things are important, but it's really good, as I mentioned, to go through your local Red Cross organization so that you can make the most of your time and help more people.
Right, and so this isn't something that's just going to be, I know you all have been making 2 trips a day and taking supplies, so how do you imagine to continue to do this? How long do you think this effort will continue to go through?
Well, our executive director was on TV a day or so ago, and she mentioned that they may be feeding people until Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And you can only imagine, this is a bayou area, and water has no place to run off,
Right.
because they've built on the areas that absorb water. So now you have standing water that could take weeks, maybe months in some areas to clear and make safe. So we have no idea. We're just preparing for the worst and trying to help as many people. And right now, getting people rescued. I think most of those things have occurred already, and now it's mainly a matter of sheltering and providing services, humane services that they may need, medication, food, water, a warm place to stay, dry clothes. Those type of things are now going to be the focus, although they're saying that the water's going to continue to rise, and so we have no idea what we may see.
Right, and have people come now, made their way to the valley and staying in at different shelters down here trying to get away from that area, or do you kind of place them in different areas along?
Well, they're probably being sheltered closer to home. I don't know whether we actually have any residents from Houston here. I know a lot of family members that had folks or relatives here in the valley have come down here to stay at safe haven. But mainly the thing is that it's important to realize that the shelters there are filling up to capacity.
Right.
And so there's going to continue to be shelters opening, and as the water continues to move and the storm continues to move northward, there's going to be more needs and more flooding.
Most definitely. So people can help by donations, heading over to their local Red Cross, or just a quick text Harvey to 90999, and they can make a donation, $10. Anything will really help those folks. Well, thank you so much, Nario, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
The pleasure was all mine. And I do
you.
want to commend your team, Tim Smith, and all the group out there that's in Houston giving good coverage, and the affiliate ABC for all the good work they're doing.
Well, thank you
and
so
thank
much.
you for keeping us informed.
Well, thank you so much, sir. Well, that's it for us today on Inside the Valley. We hope you'll join us next week.